In this video, I'm going to explain a new, small, and seemingly benign glitch that I found in Tears of the Kingdom, which plays off a few interesting mechanics to get into a state where seemingly time is stopped, but a Link is physically descending about, I'd say, 2 links worths downward in the direction of gravity. So effectively, we're abusing the mechanic of resting by a campfire. And the fact is that uh, NPCs, which I'll jump to and show off a bit later, um, sometimes have cower animations, or based off of the time of day that the game is in, they might have different locations they're at. And some of these NPCs have very strong collision boxes, and based off of that, they forcefully push any objects that are in the way. And in our case, right before we jump here to showing off the glitch, um, what we're doing here effectively is abusing the fact that here, when it becomes noon, the NPC will get up and move to a position where I have this really long log pattern or log structure set up so that it's directly in line of where the NPC will walk to. And so what I'm going to be doing is triggering this resting at the bonfire while I'm on the object that the NPC will walk into, causing this object, which is whatever, like 15 logs, and this 15 logs will fly away because the NPC is just so strong and the collision just forcefully pushes the logs and the objects over the NPC. And even though the logs are pushed, what actually happens is that usually, if you're on ground, it looks like Link just goes directly onto the ground below him. But what actually happens, what we'll see now in a moment, is in fact the fact that Link descends for about the 3-ish or 4 seconds once you come back from the resting, resting throughout the night or whatever you want to call this, and Link actually descends downwards. And so what we'll see right here is that I'm over the abyss, and what happens is Link, during the animation where time is technically stopped, to my knowledge, he's actually descending downward vertically, but still in this resting animation. And so let's look at how that looks right here. Let's jump forward. Cool. And so I just hit noon there. And as you'll see, so as you can see there, Link was about 2.5 links worth of vertical height down, because even during the black screen part, he was descending, and at that last like 1 second-ish approximately, when you see Link kind of finish that animation, he continues that descension, and you can see he was much lower than initially where the logs were. And so that means throughout that entire animation, uh, last 2 seconds of the black screen and 1 second afterwards, Link is actually going downwards, and to my knowledge, time is stopped. And theoretically, that would mean, even though in this case, afterwards he just drops and hits the respawn trigger, the Void Warp. What this actually means is that potentially, if there are cutscene triggers, voids, or otherwise, this may be a way where if those are right next to where Link is standing and right next to a campfire that he has available, he might be able to go through those triggers fully and potentially not trigger them, because theoretically time would be stopped. To show off another case of this same glitch in a different scenario, I'm going to be doing this over water this time around. And just to kind of explain how I'm doing this, as you can see here on the left, you have this, I forget what they're called in this game, this NPC that's whatever, kind of like a robot. And effectively, it walks to where you can see my logs are set up on the right side. And it acts whatever, kind of stupid and gets afraid easily on the right side, but it moves there when it's noon. And so what we're doing here, as you can see, the log structure, just like last time where they were pointing the opposite direction towards the void, this time they're pointing back what we're looking at currently, and it's moving towards the water. And so what we're triggering now is effectively setting this up so that we have a campfire right by the water where it is deep water that will actually require um, Link to be fully in swimming animation. And we're going to see effectively the same effect where Link is descending downward. However, he is stopped by the liquid of the water itself in that rest sinking. And yeah, sorry for the crappy gameplay. It's like 4 a.m. when I'm recording this. But nonetheless, if we jump ahead, we can see here um, I will be sitting just like previously. And this time, once again, I'll hit noon. And now, once this resting is finished, we'll have this rest sinking glitch where Link is now descending, see, through the water, but the water itself acts as kind of a barrier, and then he hits swimming animation. And so this is quite interesting because you have this, 3-ish seconds of descending, which is about 2.5 links worth height from what I can see, where potentially triggers of many kinds may not fully be active. And so this right now obviously looks pretty useless, but if this could potentially be more general or has a few different places where this could take place, and if there's either direct voids or specific triggers that you may want to get past, this might be end up being something that could be useful in various cases throughout the game.